I believe, is Lingering Souls.
Lingering Souls is excellent against Infect. Doesn't do anything against Blight Agent, of course, but it's a lot to get through, requires a lot of pump spells for things like Glistener Elf and Nexus to slog through. So that's his most important card. Needs to get there via removal spells like Path to Exile, Abrupt Decay, and Lingering Souls to Dismember to slow things down, but then Lingering Souls can play mop-up duty.
Now, if you remember last year, Todd Anderson did attempt to make a run for the Players' Championship, came up a little bit short and then dialed it back some. But when we were at the Star City Game Center, and he lives in Roanoke, Virginia, he was there hanging out most of the entire weekend, helping Brad Nelson get ready. Well, yeah, pushback there, the encroachment. Todd not letting it happen.
Love it.
Yeah, got to exert dominance right there. But he wants to get there this year, and he is very, very close to doing so. He's number 10 on our Season 4 leaderboard right now. We're going to see him at quite a few events. Wouldn't be surprised to see him in Worcester next weekend, maybe Milwaukee the weekend after that. And Brad's already qualified. You know they're good friends.
Yep, some good testing to be had. And Todd, a big football fan, knows that the games are decided at the line of scrimmage.
We saw it yesterday.
Pushes Kazu's land back right away.
It's true.
Love it.
He's got to be in a good mood this morning. Alabama took care of Wisconsin yesterday.
Got to watch that game with the Andersons. It's as delightful as it sounds.
Passionate fans.
Really
passionate
fans.
I don't begrudge anyone for having passion for their sports team. You got to see me watch the Cavaliers in the playoffs. A complete wreck.
Yep.
Path to Exile, Voice of Resurgence, Lingering Souls, and Locks It on Smiter. The cards here for Kazu Negri.
Very solid hand if he gets to land number 3. Path to Exile plus Lingering Souls. Good mixture of cards. Can already block the Glistener Alpha, Voice of Resurgence. It's a good mixture.
Todd with a copy of Rancor in hand. You don't see that one that much. Just a one of. He's going to sacrifice the Misty Rainforest to see what land he wants to find. He's also got a main deck copy of Twisted Image, which is also in his hand right now. Twisted Image is the ultimate I want to get you card.
Good to have a clean game 1 answer to Spellskite.
Yep.
Hard for it to be too bad because it cycles.
Let's see what's next here for Anderson. Another Glistener Elf. Noble Hierarch. Pass the turn back. Over to Negri we go. Does he draw the land? That is the question. Looks like the answer is yes. That is a forest. Lingering Souls is online if he wants to cast it. He can go the Smiter route, but I like getting the Spirit tokens out there.
Lingering Souls is much more powerful, and it sets him up for a nice card next turn where he can flash back Lingering Souls and have access to Path to Exile.
Anderson will draw. Picked up a copy of Mutagenic Growth that appears. Rancor will be played.
And Rancor here, even though just a one of in the list here, I think it's going to be important for Todd to have this card to have a shot at winning this game because it's one of the better ways for this deck to answer Lingering Souls. Not that it's an answer per se, but it's a recurring source of trample, and even if they're trading off, you can set the same situation up with your new threat and try to win that way.
Yep. I think we might do the twist here. Yep.
Twisted Image on that, turn into a 2/4.
Yep. See you later, Voice of Resurgence. Just doing the twist.
Beautiful.
The follow-up is Serum Visions. Just whatever it takes to get through. Pendle Haven among the cards that Todd is looking at for scrying. Those cards will go to the bottom. I'm not interested in either one of those. There's a Breeding Pool, enter battlefield, tap, pass the turn back. We're going to Negri. Negri will draw. A forest.
So people often get in these spots where they play a little too defensively against Infect, and the deck can work around you in so many different ways. I think that if I'm in Negri's spot here, I consider putting down the shields on Path this turn, just casting the Smiter, getting that out of the hand, and then setting the stage for a flashback of Lingering Souls plus Path to Exile being up. But I don't think flashing back Lingering Souls gives him enough of a clock. And he only has a single white mana, so the Voice of Resurgence and the Smiter in his hand represent a real cost. I guess he could also flash back Lingering Souls this turn and cast the other Voice of Resurgence in his hand. I can buy that play too.
I can get behind that play. Here come the beatdowns. I like it. I like getting aggressive.
Yep.
That Voice of Resurgence token, that's a 5/5. Not messing around here. Here's Voice. Now, this can get a little dangerous because it's all white blockers right now. So putting the shields down on path, Todd might be able to kill him here. He's got Apostle's Blessing in hand. I think if he would have found an appropriate pump spell, may have been able to get the job done, but I don't think he did.
But I also don't know if Kazu is in a position to wait all day. You know, you wait a long time. Maybe the pump spell that Todd finds is Vines, and it didn't even matter that you left up the path.
Sure.
So it's just important to get the ball rolling.
A bevy of pump spells would have actually gotten the job done this turn. Vines, Groundswell, Become Immense, Might of Old Croja. Any of them would have gotten it done. Here's just an attack. Anderson trying to show some strength here, squeeze through some damage.
So Voice of Resurgence almost certainly gets involved in the block. The question is just if the tokens are going to get in there as well.
Yeah. Right now, 4-2 coming across.
Negri at this point is trying to go through the sequences because you don't want to block with these Souls tokens if you don't have to, because Todd just gets to just get rid of them for free on the board right now. But you also don't want to die. So
it's like we'll see a double block. Voice of Resurgence and a Spirit token. Mutagenic Growth is going to be hard cast, so no Phyrexian mana involved. Todd is at 8 after all. Some work will get done here. And a little bit of Infect, I believe, will come through because of Trample, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah, I think we're looking at 3 coming across.
Another elemental token will be made. Anderson with a copy of Dismember in hand. Not sure if he's going to be able to actually use that, though. Now there's the elemental token for Negri from Voice of Resurgence dying. Get the Infect counter out there. See how much Negri has. 7 to go for Anderson.
And now Todd's got to beat this board plus Path.
Really tough. Really tough. And Siege Rhino is actually drawn.
In fact, Todd already has to double chump block this turn on the table.
Yep.
We know he has Dismember, although Dismember only saves so much life when you're paying for Phyrexian mana for it.
It's time to attack. Everybody coming on in.
I like the attack here, trying to just force the issue here.
Anderson going to sacrifice that fetch. Going to go down to at least 7, maybe more. I think maybe Dryad Arbor works its way into the equation. Yeah. Block 1. Block the other with Dryad Arbor. We're going to leave Noble Hierarch behind. Looks like if this works, 3 damage will come through. Anderson trying to give himself the best chance to peel out on this one. But that Path to Exile is going to be pretty hard to beat.
Yeah, if I'm Negri here, I'm probably not following up with the Siege Rhino post-combat unless it kills Todd.
Well, I suppose because Todd actually does have Apostle's Blessing in hand, he's kind of got Kazu trumped here. If he draws a pump spell, because they're your blocks, he'll take 3 damage. He'll go down to 4. If he draws a pump spell,
Yeah, he's fine.
yeah, he just casts it. Negri tries to path. Todd says, Apostle's Blessing your path. Get the job done. So perhaps Kazu got a little too aggressive there because it was very unlikely to be able to kill him that turn anyway. Here's Path to Exile. Yep, there's Apostle's Blessing. It's on a top deck now. Untap and draw here for Todd Anderson. Knock that deck. How'd we do? Noble Hierarch is not what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, that leaves him short.
He had a shot. There's Hierarch. Attack. That'll be for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put him to 8 infect. 8 is not 10. Pass the turn back. Negri will draw, attack. There are your blocks. There's a Siege Rhino. Lethal damage going to come across. Kazu Negri is going to win game number 1 here over Todd Anderson. Obzon up a game over Infect, though a little bit more risky than I think it needed to be.
Well, I suppose that Negri's path there can simply be attack with Lingering Souls tokens, attack with Lingering Souls tokens, and then kill you with Siege Rhino. So you can do it over the course of 2 turns regardless and still have blockers back.
Say again?
Instead of attacking with everything on that turn, he can just attack with Lingering Souls tokens. Once he draws the Siege Rhino, he can attack with the Lingering Souls tokens, untap, attack with Lingering Souls tokens, and cast Siege Rhino.
Yes.
So he's back with the elementals the whole time, still has the path in hand, and I think he has a 2-turn clock regardless.
Yeah, he's never going to be able to kill him in 1 turn.
Yeah.
Because he's also never going to be able to get Todd down to 3 for Siege Rhino to be lethal.
I think
it's very unlikely.
It's possible that Kazu just didn't work the Dryad Arbor in the equation, because if you assume that Todd is chump blocking with just Glistener Elf and the Noble Hierarch, at that point you're removing 2 Infect from the Alpha Strike, or 1 or 2 depending on how Todd attacks, and maybe at that point it's worth offering up the Alpha Strike and leaving yourself a little vulnerable on the way back. But since Todd was able to just get a Dryad Arbor to chump block one of them, Kazu really made no inroads on Todd's attack the next turn, because Todd was able to keep a Noble Hierarch in play and only attack with 1 creature, so he still got an Exalted trigger. So maybe that was where Kazu's math got tripped up a little bit, but I think if he just attacks with the Lingering Souls tokens, he can finish off with Siege Rhino over the course of 2 turns the same way.
Well, he got the job done. He's up a game. So now we take a look at the sideboards. We will start with Todd Anderson and what he has for his 15.
3 Nature's Claims, 2 Twisted Image, a Spellskite, 2 Dispels, a Leyline of Sanctity, a Necropede, 2 Relic of Progenitus, Verdian Crutcher, Pithy Needle, Grafdigger's Cage. And we're pretty sure the 2 copies of Twisted Image are going to be coming here. They're basically coming in any deck that could possibly have something like Spellskite. So those will be coming in here, and it's possible the Spellskite comes in as well, as Kazu's playing with quite a bit of removal.
4 Thoughtseize, 3 Leyline of the Void, 2 Dark Blast, 2 Choke, a Fraction Gust, Maelstrom Pulse, a Sorin Solemn Visitor, a Spellskite, and most notably, really good penmanship.
Great penmanship.
It's very much appreciated.
And a close to a perfect sideboard for this matchup.
Yeah.
4 copies of Thoughtseize, 2 copies of Dark Blast, a Maelstrom Pulse, and a Spellskite is bringing a lot to the table.
You gotta like all the options.
Great sideboard here for Kazu.
I will be surprised if he's not able to get one of these 2 games.
Yeah.
Given what he's bringing in, he can take out some garbage like Wiltleaf Leech, be good to go.
Dark Blast is especially punishing on Infect. It's one of the
Yeah.
best cards you can have in the format in your sideboard if you want to have better shot at being Infect.
Well, these players will shuffle up here. Todd Anderson will be on the play here for game number 2. We will talk about SCG Game Night, the very popular promotion. Every week in September, we have a Kraken.
Every month we come up with a new kit. This is a September kit. We send it out to the stores. Stores can run their game night however they want to, sanctioned or unsanctioned, any format they want. Just get players in the store for some fun and friendly magic. This is a September kit. October coming down the pipeline, that's the Hippo. Too late to get signed up for October, but if you want to get signed up for November, which is the Otter, head over to StarCityGames.com/game night for more information, or contact your Star City Games organized play representative.
Otter von Bismarck. That's his name. Von Bismarcking is his game.
Has a mustache and everything.
Yeah, it's perfect. That's October for you guys. StarCityGames.com/game night for more information as we get ready here for game number 2. We'll learn a little bit more about Todd Anderson, former Invitational champion, multiple-time Grand Prix top 8 competitor, big-time Alabama Crimson Tide fan, 29 years old, lives in Roanoke, Virginia, 3 NV top 8s with a W in 2012. 22 Open Series top 8s with 5 wins. He's got the most Open Series top 8s of all time. Callie Anderson is the wife. She works in OP. We got to see him in action yesterday, as we mentioned, watching the Alabama game. It's one of the most adorable things I've ever seen.
Oh, they all, it doesn't matter if you're at a bar in Cincinnati that is largely empty, they will do all the loud Alabama chants during the entire game.
They have synchronized cheers.
Yep.
They know everything they're looking for. They know all the players, all the plays. It's fun to watch.
Matching gear.
It's very true.
It's a whole thing.
And a self-proclaimed best NFL Blitz player ever, Todd Anderson, looking to go to the Players' Championship, number 10 here on our Season 4 leaderboard for the year. It was a true, it's fun. It's funny, because when you are offered the opportunity to watch sports with someone, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. For example, for basketball with me, I don't let anyone watch basketball with me. Mm-hmm. No one. And my best friends know not to watch basketball with me because I have a really in-depth knowledge of basketball. I watch the game a very certain way, and I also don't like to be asked questions during basketball. Mm-hmm. So you know, I kind of do my own thing. I don't watch basketball with anybody. I just watch by myself in my apartment or when I'm on the road, on my iPad, whatever. Todd said, hey, you guys want to come out and watch the game? And I'm just like, what am I about to get myself into? I know he's a big Alabama fan. But they were completely reasonable.
Yeah, it was fun.
Like, even when the team did things wrong, they were like, that was bad play. Not like, the ref is stupid and being an unreasonable sports fan. Completely reasonable fans.
Yeah, but it's also week 1 against Wisconsin. I think the LSU game might be a little different. We'll see.
Maybe a touch different.
Yeah.
I know Callie doesn't like Auburn.
Yeah.
Booing the highlights of a team is really something.
Yeah.
That's a little overboard. Here's a Birds of Paradise, a healthy twisted image target. Todd starts things off with a Glistener Elf, as you see. Overgrown Tomb is what Negri's going to use to cast that Birds of Paradise. Anderson picked up a copy of Groundswell.
Looks like his hand is all pump.
Yeah, Vines for some protection, but a lot of pump over there. Here's an attack. I think it's going to Groundswell now. Yeah, get that damage through while you can. 5 infect here for Negri. You can see Negri, he's already got Lingering Souls in hand.
And the problem with the all pump spell hand, it is very vulnerable to blockers when you are on Glistener Elf, and Kazu's about to generate some of the best blockers in the format here in Lingering Souls.
There are the spirits. Now, if Anderson's able to draw a copy of Apostle's Blessing, this game is over. Just like that. This is the power of Infect. In Kazu's hand, you're going to keep it every time. He's got turn 2 Lingering Souls, flash it back, or cast another Lingering Souls from hand. Lingering Souls is one of the best cards in the format against Infect.
And not only does he have Lingering Souls, but I believe he has another bird in his hand, which doesn't seem significant, but as you mentioned, Apostle's Blessing is Todd's best workaround in this spot, and if he has a green blocker back and a blue blocker back, or white blocker back, excuse me, then it becomes very challenging to punch through.
Relic of Progenitor is going to take care of the graveyard. Draw a card here, Will Anderson. Gataxian Probe is what he's found now. Relic got some synergy, got some anti-synergy in the deck because you are a Become Immense deck.
Yeah. But Todd's anticipating a lot of graveyard stuff, and getting the Lingering Souls out of Negri's graveyard is quite good here as well.
He'll play Breeding Pool untapped. Just going to pass the turn back, not even willing to cast the probe here, so some patience with the sorcery speed. Look at your hand spell.
Well, Todd's not going to make a move next turn, that turn regardless. Even if he draws Apostle's Blessing, there's still nothing for him to do that turn. Mm-hmm. And I think he wants maximum information the turn that he thinks he's likely to go for. Also, he wants to keep his life total high. Negri's attacking him, so there's no reason to all-cast it if you can avoid it.
There's a Temple Garden for Negri. And we might see another Lingering Souls here in just a moment. Yep, there that is. 2 more spirits on the way. Now Birds of Paradise.
And this is bad news. And this is a spot where the main deck Ranker could be pretty potent.
I was thinking the same thing. Now Blight Agent can be pretty potent too. There's a Gataxian Probe. Just 2 lands here for Kazu, so Todd actually has him dead next turn.
Yeah.
Kazu's going to have to peel a removal spell.
I mean, I don't even know if that's an out now because of the vines that are in Todd's hand.
Very true. Very true.
Negri needs to rip a sweeper here.
Yeah. Anderson going to come across here with the Glistener Elf. That's a little risky, right?
Now Liliana the Veil is a draw?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, he doesn't have Liliana in his deck.
But this still strikes me as a slightly too aggressive attack here from Todd.
Looks like Path to Exile was the draw. If Todd had a fetch on the battlefield, that would have been okay, I think, because of Dryad Arbor.
Yeah.
But if Kazu would have had Liliana, it would have been bad news. Todd will show you the other Vines of the Vastwood to get the job done, and that is going to do it. So Todd Anderson's going to win game number 2 over Kazu Negri. It's 1-1 here, Infect versus Abzan. However, Kazu's going to be on the play here for game number 3, and that's a world of difference.
Yep. I mean, his openings of turn 2 Lingering Souls a lot more potent on the play. And being on the play in general is just very important against a deck as fast as Infect.
And this matchup doesn't take much time, so we'll have time to jump to our backup match, I imagine. Though Modern is a pretty quick format, so. Oh, well, the backup match is Lantern. Never mind.
We'll have time.
We'll have time to jump to the Lantern control deck. Though it is playing against Merfolk, those fishies. I wonder how that matchup goes.
Well, someone's leaving the table, so
Uh-oh.
we'll never know.
Yeah, we'll have a result, I think, for you guys about that in just a second. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about the Star City Games pre-release that's taking place for Battle of Zendikar. You can pre-register today, September 26th through the 27th. You ready?
I'm ready.
Battle of Zendikar.
That is a stretch, but here it is.
You get it?
Head over to StarCityGames.com/pre-release. You can register right now. This is a limited edition playmat. It is only available for people who show up to the pre-release at the Star City Games headquarters in Roanoke, Virginia. You want to get this playmat, head over to the pre-release either September 26th or 27th. Some number of these playmats, whatever is left over, will go up on the website the day after, but that's a very limited supply. So either register now, head over to Roanoke, Virginia, play in the Star City Games pre-release, or be on the website Monday morning if you want to get your copy of this playmat.
They're shaped like carrots.
No, that I got.
You get it?
No,
And they're battling for the carrots.
once you explained it to me, I got it.
Okay.
It just took a second.
Okay, got it. Well, I found in life that clarification is key.
Yeah, no, you never know when someone's going to get tripped up.
It's very true. Apparently, Lantern defeats Merfolk there.
Okay. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't.
I have nothing to offer on the
I
Lantern
got
deck.
no idea if that's a good matchup or not. But
No.
a W is a W.
Yep.
I could see them getting locked out pretty easy by the bridge.
Bridge is very good.
Yeah.
If you have access to engineered explosives, that's got to be good against Merfolk. They're
Yep.
all the relevant permanents are 2 mana.
You lock them with the bridge. You make sure they don't draw like Echoing Truth, and then they've got no way out. It's not like they have any reach.
A lot of the Merfolk decks cannot beat Ensnaring Bridge game 1.
Yeah.
They're just creatures and a couple removal spells.
And they make their creatures so big.
right.
Anyway, so that's a unique. Curse Catcher, I think, is a blank card in the matchup. Doesn't counter anything.
There's probably, I would imagine there's some spells. Maybe you're right.
Look, a couple discard spells, I don't think that matter too
Yeah.
much. But the relevant cards, your Lanterns of the World and your Bridges, Curse Catcher can't handle those. Might be a bad matchup there for the old fish deck.
We will never know.
Yeah, either way. Hopefully we'll get to watch a little Lantern action at some point this weekend. But for now, we're going to watch Abzan versus Infect. Kazu Negri will be on the play, and as we mentioned, his sideboard, it is loaded up pretty well for Infect. Dark Blast, a huge card in this matchup. Lingering Soul's also quite good. Path to Exile, Abrupt Decay, Dismember, all cards you like, and a great start here off Birds of Paradise, as Negri's going to go down to 18. Anderson will draw. It's a Misty Rainforest for Todd.
Ooh, so we're doing the twist.
We are doing the twist, aren't we? Yes, we are.
That's got to feel good.
It feels, I was just going to say, it feels so good every time. Getting a Spellskite or a bird, you probably needed that, didn't you? Negri will draw an Abrupt Decay. He's got, oh no, okay. Township, all right. Spellskite's going to be tough. Township as the second land is bad news, however, for Kazu.
And you can see his hand is a lot of black cards.
Yep. There's Blighted Agent, pass the turn back. Can he draw a land? It's a Path to Exile, which is not a bad draw.
If you're not going to draw a land, that's probably the best draw in the deck.
But boy, was this hand relying on that bird. Now, of course, the big question is, when do I path?
I'm fine with pathing right now.
Just get it off now?
Yeah, I don't think... it is pretty dangerous to let this deck untap with a creature in play, as a rule.
Well, there is Path to Exile. That'll take care of the Blight Agent. Anderson will get a Forest. Negri's got some mana issues. If he can draw some lands, he'll be just fine. He's got Lingering Souls, Abrupt Decay. A lot of good cards over there for Kazu. Necropede the draw here for Anderson. However, Anderson's in some trouble because Spellskite is a real problem for his deck.
And you see why this deck needs so many copies of Twisted Image.
Yep.
Spellskite is problematic. Deck full of pump spells does not operate well in the face of an unchecked Spellskite.
Well, he's about to do the twist again. He found a Twisted Image to put on top of his deck. Breeding Pool went into the battlefield untapped. Here's Necropede. There's Glistener Elf. Pass the turn back. Kazu, you need a land, my friend. I think you found one. All right, we got some Magic to be played here.
And now Todd's got to work through the combination of Spellskite and Lingering Souls. We know he has an answer for a Spellskite coming next turn. but no Blighted Agent right now.
Yep.
So Lingering Souls is going to do some good work. Says a lot about the individual power of Negri's cards in this matchup, where this start can be so bad, where his bird got hit with a Twisted Image, he's missed land drops, he was missing colors and mana, but his individual cards are good enough that he still could pull through this.
Twisted Image going to be the draw here. We'll see how Anderson wants to move forward this turn. Negri going to start working himself back into this game. There's the twist. Anderson will draw. Another copy of Glistener Elf. Not really what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, these are the kind of draws where you get to see just how good Lingering Souls can be in the matchup.
Ink Moth Nexus is going to get fired up. Anderson will sacrifice Windswept Teeth. He's moving pretty quickly here. Is there a chance that Negri's dead? I think he is.
Yep.
I mean, this isn't quite Tom Ross speed, but the way that Todd's moving, I guess he's got Become Immense Groundswell? Jeez,
yeah.
Pete's. There's that, and there's that. Boy, oh boy. Todd Anderson's going to win this match over Kazu Negri 2-1. Infect will take care of Abzan. For Anderson, he's going to stay in first place. He's 10-1 now.
Yeah, ignore everything I said about the individual cards in Negri's stack there.
I didn't even realize he had him dead that turn. Maybe he needed to peel a land off the Twisted Image to get the job done, but very impressive win to get by that deck. We're talking Lingering Souls, Dark Blast, Path Exile, Abrupt Decay. A ton of removal there in Negri's deck. That Twisted Image on the Birds of Paradise was huge.
And I think that Todd knew that he had the kill sewn up because he played his land so fast as his first action on the turn there, even before casting Twisted Image on the Spellskite. And I thought that playing the land that fast was weird because what if he draws a Pendlehaven? You know, like
Sure.
why would you just put the fetch land into play? But Todd knew that he had it all sewn up there. 3 attackers and enough pump spells to kill if one went unchecked, and Negri with only 2 blockers back.
In fact, moving on to 10-1, we do have our metagame